You're watching the 2024 SCAC Fall Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the Austin College men's soccer program, who's once again be led as they head into the season of the guides of head coach Taylor Goyen, along with leadership from senior Louis Catchpole. Coach Louis, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, we've talked over the past about the progress and the changes that you've been working both internally and externally to make over the course of these first couple of seasons. You're coming off a year in which you've had the most wins since 2019 last year. The arrow feeling like it's definitely pointing up. But where have you seen the biggest growth over the last couple of years with this program, and how excited ultimately are you to be back here at the start of the new season?
I think the biggest area of growth has been the players. The guys that have returned and stuck it out the last 3 years, they've implemented good habits, a culture that we're still working on that definitely has, I would say, has grown within not just themselves, but the group. This group that has come in this upcoming fall camp and the last two classes, they've bought into each other. And I think that is where the biggest growth has been, is they kind of have created this environment where we're getting better every day, and it's all credit to them.
Louis, explode onto the scene last year, into your junior season, an absolutely phenomenal season, second in the SCAC in terms of goals with 14 on the year, third most points with 30 on the season. What does a year like you experienced last year as a junior do for you in terms of your individual confidence? And what have you continued to work on, individually to grow as a player and build that confidence even further coming into the senior season?
Yeah, I think it's really big for a player to explode a season before their last. I mean, I have a lot more experience now that I played the whole season of last year. I had no injuries, which is one thing I really need to work on. I had a back injury before that, which kind of set me back a little bit. Through the spring and through the summer, I played with a new team, new environment. I got to play with some very, very good players. I got to see the game from a different aspect, which was very nice. And I think it's all really been a good high to ride on to. And now we're coming into a new season. I got to show again what I'm made of. So,
Coach, I'm interested from your perspective how this preseason feels for you. You talk about those changes, the culture, bringing in these players that have been with you now for the last couple of seasons. That you look at this roster, you return I think all but 5 points from a year ago. So it's a veteran group that understands what you want day in and day out. Does that put you in a different space coming into preseason? Does that give you more confidence as a coach that this group is ready to take on some of those challenges coming into the season?
Yeah, it really does. I think a cliche is a lot of coaches will say nothing really changes each year. Every year is the same. I think with us, I mean, the reality is we have a group that is much more mature than we were 3 years ago, which is all credit to them. And we have a very big group of freshmen and newcomers coming in. So personally, I've been able to kind of take a step back this fall camp, be more observational, let the players kind of work on things themselves, whether it's coming from the leadership group of captains, the upperclassmen, and they've done a fantastic job making sure that so far that fall camp's been organized, successful. The training sessions have been good. So not trying to get too excited or too high on how it's been going, but I mean, this has definitely had a special feeling this fall camp so far, and I'm just looking forward to this group this year.
Louis, I mentioned this group coming off the most wins since the 2019 season. I'm sure the vibes and expectations, the bar has been risen there in Sherman. Talk to me a little about from a team perspective, how's camp been going? What are the vibes like with this team right now? And what is the confidence this team is starting to get as preseason gets underway and you get prepared for the start of a new season?
yeah, so obviously we have 20 returners and 20 new guys. And like I said, last year with a lot of wins, it's big expectations. And obviously, as I said before, we have 5 senior leaders. So we know what we want, and that's definitely more than what we did last year. We want more wins. I would say top 4 is what we want. We want to go for it all. That's all I have to say.
Coach, we've talked in the past about the importance of kind of identifying the leadership within your program and coming into this season. Lou talks about this senior group and the importance that they've played in putting this team, on the right track. Talk a little bit about this leadership core. Have you been able to kind of start to identify those leaders within this program? Who are those folks going to be, and how important will they be to the team's success throughout the course of the year?
Absolutely. So my first year, there was a rough year, obviously, and about halfway through the year, I had a conversation with Kyle Nyman and Louis about making them captains as sophomores. And after that season, they essentially were underclassmen captains, and the current seniors and my first recruiting class, which will be current juniors, they've really developed this environment. And just going forward, the expectation every year it's going to come from this foundation that they've set, and that's all credit once again to them. But as we all know, this conference is getting better every year. So each team that we'll be playing against will have these same commonalities with us. So it's just going to be keeping a level head on our shoulders and understanding that we have to have each other's back, whether we're talking about our leadership core or the guys that are just coming in, just that they understand that this is definitely going to be a roller coaster, but to make it to that finish line, it's going to take all of us in a group effort.
Louis, you talked a little bit about it. There's no shying away. This is one of the top Division III men's soccer conferences in all of the country, and it's proved that over the last decade or so. So, as you've had conversations with some of your other teammates, some of the leaders within this group about some of the goals and expectations, what have those conversations looked like, and what do you see being key in order to try and accomplish those heading into this year?
All I gotta say is we gotta lock in. I want to win a championship before I leave here, which would be amazing for the school, not only for this team, for the coaches. I think it'd be amazing to see a championship in Sherman, especially for men's soccer with this crazy of a conference. But like I said, these tough conversations do have to happen. So we really do got to dig deep, especially with how big this conference has got now with these new additions, and this competition's got a lot better.
And finally, coaches, we wrap up with you. Success in our sports arena can obviously be measured in so many different ways, so many different metrics, and black and white metrics from wins and losses and statistics, but then well beyond, obviously, the lines of field of play. So when you talk about success with your student athletes in your program, what's that message that you try and deliver? And ultimately, this season looks successful if what plays out over the course of 2024.
We have a very special community here at Austin College. I'm lucky enough to have not just an excellent coaching staff that relays those positive messages that we're trying to do every day, but day in and day out, whether it's our faculty, our athletic director, our university president, we have a very strong network. And so our goal as coaches are to get our players, not just the wins, but on the field, but off the field, to prepare them for, as cliche as it sounds, prepare them for life. And Austin College is a special place where if you lock in literally with every aspect of our campus, you will come out with more connections, with more opportunities. And that's our goal, is to get these men mature, get these men ready for life. And it's a group effort from the professors, from the school, from ourselves. And our whole goal here as coaches is just to obviously get as many wins as possible. But that's just a byproduct of what we're trying to do with the bigger picture of our university from an academic side and obviously from a career readiness side as well, just getting them ready for life.
Austin College head men's soccer coach Taylor Goyen, along with leadership from senior Louis Catchpole, the Roos will open up the 2024 campaign when they take on Concordia Moorhead on August 30th. Coach Louis, thanks so much for your time today. Best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.